Hey, welcome to CC's Coos and Concerns. Well, it's been about 2 weeks, but I'm back. I know you guys seen the flyer where I was going to have Miss Nedra Durr, but things came up, so she's definitely going to still come on the show, but it's going to be probably in a few weeks that she'll come. So don't think I was putting off false flyers. She's definitely going to come on the show, but like we always say, things happen. But it's cool because I have another special guest here with me. Um, you guys hear his voice on my show, but you never see his face, and so now you get to see the face behind the voice. My partner, my business partner, the co-owner of this podcast, this network lounge.
Lounge Network.
Lounge Network.
Lounge podcast.
We always go back and forth with that because I keep mixing it up, and also Jarreau from the Barstool podcast, the legendary Jarreau. So in a minute, yeah, go on, keep your title. Anyway, he's gonna sit with me, and like I say, that's a good thing about doing a podcast over here. We all cover each other, and when you got several podcasts going on over here, we can all be on each other's show and stuff. So, but before I get started with my conversation with Jarreau, I don't know what I want to call you. Can I call you Jeremy? No, okay, I'm sorry. Can I call you Jay? No, Jarreau from the Barstool podcast. So anyway, before I get started, we get into the interview part and stuff like that. He's gonna do the spiel on if you want to do a show over here. He's gonna tell you how to do it.
I still got to do work. I
Yes.
thought I was just getting an interview. Like I didn't know I had to do the job still. All right. Well, if you wanna show over here, just get in touch with either Cynthia or myself. My Instagram, you can inbox me on Instagram. It's right there at the top at Jarreau702. Man, it's a $50 setup fee. It's $25 per episode. That's up to an hour of recording. And what else? Oh, it's not a set time. So it's first come, first serve with the time. You got a calendar, and as you want to do an episode, you just pick a date. It doesn't have to be once a week. It could be once a month. You could do we have one show that's getting ready to start here soon. They're doing a 6-show series, so a season. And, that's a cool way to do it. Get you like 5-6 shows and just call it a season and just see how that goes. And then if you want to do another season, do another season, So all those different options. Just get in touch with us if you want to do a show. Just come up with a name. Tell me the name of the show. I'll create a backdrop. And I won't just make a backdrop. It'll be a backdrop. I'll be checking with you, see whatever changes you want. How do you, what else you want me to add, what you want me to take away, all that good stuff. And get the backdrop exactly the way you want it, and then you got you a show. That's basically it.
Sounds good. And if you see my backdrop right here, I always, when I was doing the Coos and Concerns, I always let you guys know he was the one who actually he designed my show. He's the one who came up with the idea of this show, and he also designed the backdrop. And how he asked me like the colors, and for some reason I love these colors. And it's another show on our podcast that she uses these colors. Mm-hmm. So just because I got the colors and she got the colors.
It's different,
and I ain't gonna say she. I'm gonna give a shout out to Oval, the comedian.
Hers is different though. Hers is like a purplish.
Oh, okay.
Yours is more of a pink.
Oh, okay. But anyway, even if you like my colors, like I say, we share over here, and stuff like that. So and like I said, like you said, doing the show over here, we want people with good vibes. We don't have no jealousy. We don't have no drama. Unfortunately, we have drama. You probably won't be asked not to do come back no more, and that's just how we are about this, because we want a friendly atmosphere. Because when
There's
you
really no need for drama though, because it's not like we all hang out. It's like you might see another show,
Yeah.
in passing, but
yeah, but like you say, I working, being in work when you work and stuff is always tend to people have drama and stuff. So I'm just making it clear, this is a drama free atmosphere. But
drama free zone.
Yeah, but anyway, as you may notice too, I'm not sitting behind the table. This is my new format with the 2 chairs and stuff like this. I'm more comfortable where I could relax a little and stuff, and I'm not behind the table and stuff, which you guys really can't see how we're sitting, but you guys know the mics is on the table and stuff. So we're doing some my format. I seen somebody else do this format, and I liked it, and I did mine. Wasn't no problem, and wasn't no jealousy or nothing. I'm like, oh, I like your format.
It's not even the same format. It's just a a table and no table.
Okay, you gonna keep saying it's a different form. I don't know why okay. I think
no, it's not. It's not a format though.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like there's nothing like however you want your show to be set up is how it is, and then you might do a show, and you might do how many shows are you in? Like 10?
I mean, with guests.
Just shows all together.
Oh yeah, I'm probably on 10, like that.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure. I don't really count mine.
Yeah, but anyway, it's the point is whenever you want to change the look of it, you can. It's not. Shows change all the time. My show looks so different than it did when it first started. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna do probably a couple of more guests, and then I'm gonna end that season, and then when I start back, I'm gonna start back with the Coups and Concerns. I had a lot of people coming up to me asking me why I don't do the Coups and Concerns, because they thought it was a good concept. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it on to my interviews at the end. I'm gonna talk about 3 things that I see going on, and tell you my opinion, and then ask my guests of their opinion. But also I am gonna go back to the Coups and Concerns, maybe a couple of times a month with a guest or 2 a couple of times a month. Like I say, it's not as easy as people may think to sit here and get guests after guests, or get going. I like the flow of mine. Y'all might see me 4 times a month. Maybe I'll start adding more. When it get into the winter time, because this summer heat is killing me. But anyway. So we done all that. So let's get down to my interview. Like I say, I have my special guest here, Jarreau from the Barstool Podcast. We're business partners. We are enjoying this. But so tell us a little about yourself, Jarreau. Tell me what you got going on.
Well, right now we got the Barstool Podcast is my show. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in Barstool Podcast with Jarreau, and it's growing. It's like about 2 years in. I just went back and counted all the episodes, and I'm at 153 episodes. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of conversations, to have with a lot of different people. So, I'm feeling like it's starting to get to the point where I imagined it to be in the first place, So it's starting to grow like that. And then also comedy is starting to, at the end of this month, July 28th, I'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona. My first out of town stand-up comedy thing. So.
Okay, so let's start with the podcast. Because like I say, we talking to you and my guests, and some people, we on a whole different thing. So tell us how you got into the into the podcast.
Okay, so basically, I was a UPS driver, and so when I would drive, I would always I started listening to podcasts through the ESPN app, so it was like sports podcasts and stuff. Then I realized that there were a lot of comedians that had podcasts, like Bill Burr and Joe Rogan and all those guys. And then there was this guy, Tax Stone. He had a podcast, and it was just, I could really relate to it. So I just got hooked on listening to these podcasts all the time. And then a friend of mine named Spook, he was telling me his wife was getting ready to start a podcast. And that just kind of sparked, like, I was anxious to hear her podcast, but at the same time, I was like, I think I could do a podcast, Mm-hmm. And so I just started thinking about, like, if I did a podcast, what would it be about? And I have this picture that hangs up directly behind me on the show. I had made it when I was doing music. It's just a picture of me sitting at the bar, and somebody took the picture of me, and then I had the picture, and I started putting like little memes, little sayings and stuff over the picture, just because of the way the facial expression is. So it was like little jokes and stuff. And so I was looking at that picture, and I was like, these are all topics that I could talk about on a podcast. So it was like, okay, I could actually do this. And the hashtag on the bottom, I put 2 hashtags on the bottom. It says my thoughts, or hashtag my thoughts, and hashtag Barstool. So I was like, the Barstool podcast with Jarreau. And then that's basically how it went. I started with an app on my phone. It was called Spreaker. You could only do like little 15-minute segments at a time. And then, from there, I went to a studio. It was a studio, Digital Insight, I think it's called. I recorded a few episodes in there. The first few episodes were recorded in there. And then Icarice, she recruited me over to Vegas Raw Radio. So it was like an internet radio station. I had a show every Saturday from 4 to 6. And then from there, I had left there, and then it kind of shut down. The two didn't have anything to do with each other, but it kind of shut down. And then that's around the time. Well, before that, me and you had met through me driving, and you were trying to get me sponsors for the. I remember you trying to get me sponsors for the show, but it was like church people, and I was like, yeah, I don't think they'll like. I don't think they want me to talk about, sponsor them, because the way I talk, I'm pretty,
And let me tell people, before you try to give people sponsors, you probably need to look at their work. So it's funny because I never looked at your podcast and stuff, but if I would have kind of looked at your podcast, I would have been like, no, we need to go with a different type of person. But some, like I said, it was funny after we thought about it. But
it was just she was just trying to be helpful and stuff.
But we can't bring the church people over here.
But yeah, she was because I don't know. I think we was just having a conversation about it, and I was just saying, I think I had just mentioned something about sponsors, and then the next time I had talked to you, you had said something about some people that you had in mind, and you told me who they were, and I was like, yeah, well, they probably won't like me talking about them because I'm pretty raunchy, or like I just don't.
But we also had agreed that they wouldn't be here when you do your shows. But I guess it still would have been under your station. But
me talking the way I talk, and then like this show is brought to you by such and such church group. Like, yeah, they not.
you can't handle your words.
Yeah, they don't. It don't sound good. So anyway, and then and then later on, we ended up going into business together. We got this studio, and at first it was a studio just for the podcast, and then we flipped the other side of it into a business, which is Lounge Podcast Network, which is growing.
How many shows we got on this side? And I don't know if you include mine. I guess you could include mine.
Yes, I do.
And yours?
Yeah.
What we have at the in the studio.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we got 4 more that I know about coming. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna be at 10 here pretty soon, and then actually there's 10. That'll be 10, but then there's at least 3 or 4 other people that's kind of like on the fence about, or they not even on the fence. They just don't know what they want to talk about, what they want to call the show yet.
And to be fair to them, like you say, people, when you do a podcast and you're involved in the podcast, you have to have them days where you ready to talk and get behind the cameras and stuff like that, because it's days where everybody had them lazy days where they don't want to do anything and stuff. That's why we have it's open where you don't have to have set time day. Yeah. But if you wanted to Pacific day, like Jarreau said, and it's already filled, you out of luck, because whoever gets it first gets it.
Yeah.
And we'll be fair. We're not gonna do the beauty shop thing where, okay, well, you got to show at 6. Is it okay if I come in like at 7? No, we're not gonna do it like that, because that person has to have the 6 to 7, and then you have to have time to switch everything off. So you probably won't be able to get your show until 7:30.
Yeah.
And that gets your show has to end in an hour, and we take that next 30 minutes to clear it out. You say goodbye to your guests, take some pictures and stuff.
So the radio station I was at, it was 5 minutes in between shows, so 30 minutes is plenty of time.
Yeah, but I'm, like I say, I always think, because some people want to take pictures with their guests and stuff, but the actual taping stops in an hour.
Yeah.
And you still have a little time to, say goodbye, get your stuff together, and then we get the next group of people in about 7:15. So, and we also understand things happen. People run late. People get lost and stuff like that. We take that in consideration wherever your hour starts and stuff. But if somebody is after you and you late coming, you have to change your time, because that person picked that next time.
Yeah.
But
right now
this,
it's a little more lax, but as it gets bigger, then it's gonna have to be more. It's gonna have to be a little stricter, just because all the time that people have to, like, if I got my guest, if my show starts at 7 and I have my guest be here at 7 and my guest is on time, but we can't start until 7:30 because the show before that guest was running 30 minutes late, and we can't throw everybody's schedule off like that. But we're pretty laid back with all that stuff. It's just pretty workable. Ain't nobody over here trying to
cheat. Like I say, everybody that's coming in is respectful of the time and stuff like that. But anyway, getting back to you. Now, tell me, like I told them earlier, my show was you thought of the concept of Coos and Concerns, and the reason why he did that, I can tell you guys, is because it's funny, and even my son and people, not a lot of people, but my son, he says, this fits me good too, because if I walk into a room, I'm always going to have something negative to say. And I don't know why I do that. And it ain't being mean, like, why is it cold in here? Why the lights this? Why the door wasn't locked? Or, why, and stuff like that. Then after I go through that spiel, then I start with my positive stuff, and stuff like that. So that's where he got that concept for Coos and Concerns. And like I say, he did the backdrop. And I don't go live anymore, which I had a lot, like I said, a lot of people ask me why I don't go live, because a lot of people like to chatting and stuff like that. But like I say, right now, in order to hear my shows and see my shows, you have to subscribe. And as soon as you subscribe and hit the, it will notify you when a show is aired. So, but I do want to go back live because I enjoyed the drawings. I enjoyed people, talking to me, and my fans, my viewers, I ain't gonna say fans, my viewers, they're texting me and they coming to me and say, why you ain't live no more? Yeah. So I'm probably gonna go back live, and I'm gonna try for about 15, 20 minutes and see, because if we do it, for some reason over here, it doesn't stream right, and we haven't figured out what the problem is, but I'm gonna go back live.
I think we should try the premiere thing first.
Which one?
The premiere.
What premiere?
Because what happened is you could pre-record it like we're doing now, and then we could post it, but it'll post at a certain time. It'll let everybody know exactly what time.
And then they'll be able to chat with me.
Yeah, but the thing is, it'll be up to you to watch it with them, and then you can answer all that.
Okay, I like that.
So you still get the chatting experience. They get to chat with you, on the show. You guys get to chat. You can chat about whatever the comments are, instead of.
That's cool. I like that. So
I'm thinking about trying that myself.
Okay.
Just see how it.
But anyway, let's talk about the comedy part of you. Where that began at?
That was pretty random. I'm starting to. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'm starting to actually kind of forget how that even came about. To be honest with you, I'm starting to.
Well, I honestly tell you, I was a little concerned about it. So
yeah,
I did one of them concern moments, but he straightened it out because I was like, okay, we finna do comedy, so where does the podcast and where all that come in sound like? But now that I notice, everybody that do a podcast is a comedian at some point. So he explained to me, it all goes together, and I see it now. But anyway, so where did it start?
Oh man, you know how many shows I would not have had if it wasn't for comedy?
I know you've been doing that. Yeah.
The show.
Who was the first comedian you interviewed, and then it just started popping with comedians?
Okay, so I've had a few on. I've had Jay Devine and Shannon the Queen on.
Oh, okay.
But where the big jump happened at was when I Brad Goby.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, just like the whole, not the whole, but a lot of the comedy scene has been on the show. So, and that has helped it. That's helped the show grow. Because it's a cool thing. Like, everybody wins in that situation. By that community kind of, they've kind of rallied around me, honestly. And they're helping my show grow by coming on, and by them coming on and the show being bigger, then when they come on, more people see because they help make it grow. So, you know what I mean? Like, it all works together.
Yeah, and I think in their case, they found somebody who's willing to put them on, another comedian, where they can go on and get some advertisement and, and stuff like that. So,
but it's even just, it's kind of advertising, I guess, but also it's just kind of like
letting your fans see you in a different light.
Yeah, just kind of
a serious. Even though y'all do a lot of joking and laughing and stuff, but
it can go either way. It can go. We could be talking about comedy, or we could be talking about like I don't know, anything, just life stuff. And I tend to get pretty high on the show. And
yeah, I'm so excited, you guys. I
don't drink as much.
There's no alcohol or substance on my show. My show is clean. We can have our kids sit here and watch and everything. No, I'm just joking. We doing a break on the alcohol because if you notice some of my episodes, I am drinking and stuff, but we ain't been drinking lately. So, like I say, the sun does something to you. You know this heat, and we all live in Las Vegas. But anyway, so we talked about that. We talked about the podcast. We talked about the comedian. So, I don't know if he's gonna talk about this because he was planning on putting it in some jokes. But we had some conversations about earthquakes and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask him, can we discuss that, or do you just want to say that for your moment?
No, that's okay. We could talk about it.
Now, let me tell you guys this about him. We live in Las Vegas, Nevada. It does not snow. So the one day that we had snow that Thursday that stuck to the ground, and then they called the snow day on Friday, and the kids didn't go to school. I was a little offended by his remarks because, like I say, we don't get snow. And so for us to have snow that sticks on the ground, that was exciting to us. So, but I'm going to let him tell you how he views our snow day, and then we'll go into the earthquake.
Okay, first of all, to be fair to me, my reaction was when she came and told me this, I was in the middle of a show, actually. She came into the studio, and she said I was in the middle of a show, like she interrupted. She didn't interrupt, but I was in the middle of a show, and she said it, and my guest, her and my guest was talking about it. Who was on that day?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who was excited with me, and we was arguing with you because this is considered a snow.
Who was that?
It must have been. Was it Miko? Because about her kids going to school.
Because it was more wasn't it? It was kind of during the nighttime, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. Well, Miko. Who was it? I can't remember.
Who? You know what? It might have been Miko. It sure was.
It was because it was her.
Yeah, because she was saying, yeah, and I was like, if it get hot, yeah, okay. So yeah, it was. But we was in the middle of a show, and you came and said that, and so it was like, and at the time I think I was drinking. Yeah,
always. You always drink on your show.
Yeah, so but now,
not lately.
Lately, I've been smoking on the show, but this is the thing. So she comes in and she says she told me they basically said they're giving a snow day, and I was like, what? A snow day? Like I knew everybody was excited about the snow, but then you told me while we were doing the show, you said it because you were excited about it, and I was like, what? A snow day? Because I've been in a real snow day. That was not a snow day, and then. Just to prove my point even more, the actual snow day, it was 65 degrees and there wasn't a snowflake on the ground.
Okay, so the day that you did your show, it was coming down, but it wasn't sticking because it started sticking that night. But we had already got the call that we weren't 100% sure they was going to do a snow day. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, he was feeling some kind of way trying to tell us that if it was really snow, we wouldn't be driving, we'd be out there plowing and different things like that. He felt like what we had out there was just
it was nothing. It wasn't nothing.
It was something to Las Vegas. I'm born and raised here in Las Vegas.
But to prove my point, it was gone the next day, all of it. You couldn't even tell it snowed.
It was kind of crazy, and we all agreed that it was kind of crazy that we got the snow day on Friday. But guess what? We paid for it back down it.
If they would have actually did the snow day on Thursday, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe, but for it to be on Friday and then there was no snow. There was no snow. It was 65 degrees outside.
Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, so let's talk about, I'm going to say the earthquake that we had a few days ago, 2 in a row. Was it 2 or 3? Just 2, huh?
Yeah, it was like 2 days.
He was telling me if we really had a earthquake, we wouldn't, because I think we would just be standing here talking about an earthquake.
Yeah, okay, so it was like, we was sitting there, and then it was like, we was talking about something. I forget what we was even talking about. But it was like, is an earthquake? He was like, do you feel that? And I was like, yep. And it was like, my point is, it did go long. It was pretty long.
The second one
was super long. But my point is, during an earthquake, you ain't talking about do you feel that? Like an earthquake, you know it's an earthquake. You yelling out earthquake. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You getting somewhere, you moving. An earthquake will move your whole situation. You got to, So I was like, that ain't, if everything's just kind of like swaying like this, it's like, am I moving or am I tripping? And then you just kind of, stuff is kind of moving around. Mm-hmm. That ain't no earthquake. It is, but it ain't. Not compared to like, and my whole thought was that second one, that long one, I'm sitting there, I'm not even worried about us because I'm like, this ain't nothing. I'm like, if we're feeling this, California, it must be going through it right now.
Is it safe to say we had the aftershock?
Yeah, we had the little
Okay, so
leftovers.
We didn't have the earthquake, we had the aftershock. So people in Las Vegas, just to say, we didn't have an earthquake. We had the aftershock.
Yeah, but then we went stopped at a store, and this lady was just talking like, they was just like all in the store. They're like, oh man, the chips almost fell off the rack. Like
he doesn't understand. In Las Vegas, we don't have that stuff.
The
so
chips
now,
almost
when people
fell off.
talk about sun, how hot it is, and stuff like that, that's nothing to us because we have that every day.
I know, I get it.
We had that moment with with the aftershock and some snow. Anyway, you know what? I thought
I'm just saying it's like the very, very least of.
Let me ask you guys this question: who should be doing Coos and Concerns? Him or me? Not for real. But
no,
anyway.
You know what? And I was gonna say, like when you said like you always say something negative, that's kind of strong. I wouldn't say it's negative. You just always have to make some sort of comment.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
I didn't realize I was. I'm not a negative person. I'm just I just realize things and I say.
But she'll point like, okay, so if she comes in and the air is on, she'll be like, it's cold. She'll probably say it's a little chilly in here. And then if she come in and the air's not on, it's a little warm in here. Like either way, she's gonna say something. You know what I mean? Like so
the best thing is to come. Maybe he should stand outside when we pull up to the studio, and if he get here before me, or I get him before him. He just stand at the door. So then when we walk in together, I might not have a negative comment.
Nah, you will. Yeah, that's happened before. We walked in at the same time. I don't say nothing, and you say something.
Okay. Well, anyway, we at my halfway mark. We got a few more minutes. So what I want to do is I want to do some concerns. I don't really want to do nothing cool because actually the cool thing is for us to be sitting here together. I did your podcast when I really didn't. I hadn't even started mine, huh?
Yeah. No, I think you had just started.
Just started, but anyway, the cool thing is for me to sit here with my business partner, the co-owner of, what's the word again?
Lounge Podcast Network.
Network Podcast. And
Lounge Podcast.
And most of all, my friend, and talk and be on my podcast. So, like I say, thank you again for being on CC's Coos and Concerns.
No problem.
So that was the cool thing. I'm only doing one cool thing today. So
the other cool thing is if you want to buy any of her t-shirts or anything like that, the description, the link will be in the description.
I'm wearing one of my CC Coos and Concern. This one is done in black and stuff. I have the colors of my backdrop. I have one done on gray. I have different things, so like
she got a bunch of different colors.
I have different colors and stuff. So like I say, check that out and see if you guys want to purchase. It has nothing to do with me. It goes.
You got tank tops too?
Yeah, I put tank tops and I did do some legging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did leggings. Right. Yeah, I did leggings. And a tank top. Y'all will be looking fly in there with that on. It's cute, and stuff like that.
But the link to it will be in the description of this podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you. Anyway, let's talk about some concerns. My first concern is what's happening in the DR. what was your reaction? Because everybody knew my reaction, and this is what my reaction is, people. I was having sympathy maybe for the first or second time this mess was happening. Now I'm at the point where I have no sympathy. If you take your ass down there, what happens to you is on you, because you cannot. I don't understand. Even though they are refunding tickets and stuff now, if you did, book a trip to the DR and stuff, you can, at first they was just giving you a year to do something, but now I hear that they refunding and stuff like that, because it's not, evidently there's not a safe place. If everybody is having respiratory, it's all got to do with, they mentioning, I'm not saying this what's happening, I'm just saying what I hear and read. Something to do with the mini bar people. They say somebody, when people have a drink and stuff like that. So if you're hearing all this and you still go out there, and then they said natural causes, and stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense. So my point is, if you take your ass out there and something happened, it's on you. I'm at the point where I won't even travel. I ain't even trying to travel right now. But let's see your point on it.
I mean, I just think it's like one of them things where people want to, I don't know, people just want to, it's a way of showing off, kind of like, if all these people are dying and they can go there and say I was there while all those people was dying, but I didn't die, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a story for people to have. And then, but if you end up dying, I mean, what are you doing? Like, you already know. Like, how many people does it take? You know what I'm saying? So that's on you. You know why you're going, and you're being silly. Because if all these people are dying in this one place, and you got plans to go to this place, but you see it on the news what's happening, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Then the problem, like a lot of things that's happening is copycats. Yeah. Let's talk about another thing. Talk about before we wrap this up. Let's talk about the woman that was on video licking the ice cream. Then I just seen a couple of days ago, it might be even yesterday, watched a guy spit in iced tea off the counter. Somebody actually was videotaping him. He opened, I think it was Arizona, one of them, and you could see him spitting in the tea, putting it back on the counter.
What's this about licking the ice cream?
Oh, you ain't heard about the girl with I'm gonna say a fool, went into a store and she licked the ice cream, and then like a gallon ice cream.
Oh,
and I think
like a Ben and Jerry's thing.
Yeah, but not Ben and Jerry. Bunny, something like that. I'm not sure. Blue Bunny. Yeah, and she licked it, and then she closed it up and put it back on the counter. But you could see her video and stuff. I don't know why people think you're not gonna get caught when somebody gonna turn you in, because I would turn somebody in if I seen somebody doing that, and stuff,
Yeah, but how many things did she just
did
to
one?
one?
So they were able, when everybody started seeing the video that she posted on YouTube, Facebook.
She posted it?
Yeah, she was taping it as she licked it. And
I thought she got caught by surveillance cameras.
No. And then she posted it, and the store people realized it was their store. Yeah. Because you could realize it's your store. Yeah. With different things, and she ended up getting caught. And you know what? How many years she's facing? 20 years. Man. No sympathy.
Think how stupid. Okay, check this out. So what are you doing to where it's like you're getting caught? First of all, you're doing something stupid. You know you're doing something stupid. Not only do you know you're doing something stupid, you're recording yourself doing something stupid. And then not only do you record yourself doing something stupid, you post it. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting here the whole time you're telling the story, I'm thinking, oh, they saw her on the surveillance cameras and they stopped her, excuse me, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. No, she taped it. Mm-hmm. She posted it, and then not like why for what? Like what are you doing? And then on top of that, it turns into, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and my thing,
whatever. Why is she facing so much time though?
Because I think they're being lenient. I would give her ass 30 years
for
doing something stupid. That's
what's the charge nasty. Exactly?
First of all, it's nasty. It's disgusting. Yeah, make people don't even want to buy no ice cream because the little pints and stuff had that plastic around it. Yeah. But when you go with the big gallons and stuff, they don't have. Some have seals, some don't.
They're gonna start doing it now.
And you know what? Another thing too, we don't know if she started taping it after she broke the seal. It ain't that hard to break the seal on ice cream.
Yeah, but
anyway, the bottom line is in Texas they had two police officers guarding the ice cream cases at some store.
Because of that.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the same state. But my thing is, now we have to put officers in a store to guard ice cream. And at first I thought it was a joke and stuff, but no, it wasn't a joke. And I think I would be so pissed. I done went through academy, did all this. I want to go out there and do some stuff, but y'all got me standing inside a damn store.
Guarding ice cream.
Guess what? None of y'all would be able to buy no ice cream. I was like, get the hell away from this ice cream. But the one with the tea, it looked like somebody was taping him because he used both hands. Yeah. So somebody was taping him, and my thing is the person who was holding that camera taping him need to get the same penalty when they ever catch him was the person who spit in the thing. You finna tell me?
They was together?
Yeah, because he helped hold the jug and he opened it. Yeah. So that's two hands, but it was still taping. Yeah. Not unless he had one of them cameras where you can set it rolling and it can go. Yeah. But anyway, what's going to happen too is, I'm having a good conversation with Jarreau, but I've never done this before. But I'm going to ask him if he want to come back and we do another 30-minute episode and talk a little more because I had some more questions that I wanted to ask. Why
don't you ask him?
Oh, I don't want to. I know. I just didn't want to mess up the time and stuff like that.
Either way, I mean, I did want to say this like that. I guess the 20 years is probably coming off of how much is because it sounds like she's making a bunch of people spend a lot of money to change a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think they listed the crimes because she was caught, and I don't know how she didn't think she was going to. Because I'm telling you right now, if I see somebody licking some ice cream or doing something disgusting that I could have possibly picked up. Yeah. I'm turning you in.
Yeah, I mean, sure you're gonna. That's not even. That's.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what that is.
And I buy all types of ice cream. I know some people only want this one, this, instead. I buy ice cream according to the price because to me, ice cream costs a lot. Damn near over $5 for a gallon of ice cream. And some of the non-name brands. Like the ones like be at Walmart, they brand and stuff. Some of those ice creams taste just as good as Anderson Dairy. I'm more of a dryers. I love dryers. But,
I love it.
Yeah, but I buy anything.
I used to be embarrassed, like going to the store with my great auntie, because she was like, if she was walking past like the grapes or something, she'd just grab grapes and start eating them. Certain like fruits and stuff they got out like that. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of thought like that's stealing. But at least it's not like leaving.
No, everybody did that. But you know what they have in stores now? Like in Smith's, they have a thing where it's take a fruit for your kids as you shop. So it might be bananas, oranges and stuff, but I would never
grab
do that,
grapes.
and I even though
just start eating them.
Yeah, but some people taste one before they buy it.
No, that's not what she was doing. She would just be walking by. She was just grabbing grapes. She had no intention on buying.
Well,
grapes.
Once you take a grape, you mess up the weight. Huh? It ain't like unless it's a set price.
Yeah.
But if they say it's $2.49 for a pound, once she start eating it, the pound gonna go down.
She would grab probably 3 or 4 of them at the most.
That's okay.
But it's just like you're stealing those, and this is
But
embarrassing. I feel like I mean, at the time, what was I? I was probably like 7 or 8, so I wasn't even.
That's too funny. But yeah. But anyway, like I said, I had one more subject to talk about, and so before we end this, so what is your going off the coups and concerns? You know, like I said, I did 1 coup, 2 concerns, but so I'm gonna go back to Jarreau, and so before we end the podcast, what is your ultimate goal on podcast and comedy? What do you see yourself at? Where do you see yourself?
Well, with the podcast, I just wanted to be like really like kind of a voice, a voice of. I really want that for this whole network to be a voice of Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That people from other places even listen to. You know what I'm saying? To the shows here, and just see what we think about things. But so for my podcast, I kind of want that too. I want it to be a platform where I can help artists and comedians and just people that's doing stuff. I can help. If I could become like a voice in Vegas, then I could bring people on and help the people in Vegas see them and meet them, and then, just kind of be a place where people could come to, kind of get introduced to, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of thing.
And your comedy?
With comedy, I just want to be, man, if I could be
a paid comedian, huh?
Yeah, if I could just, not even like superstar rich or nothing. Like if I could just, do comedy full time, to where it's just like all I ever have to do is just comedy and podcast, then that's like the ultimate goal. That's it. Not even like in a millionaire way or nothing like that. Just if I could just make a living by just doing comedy and podcasting, that's the ultimate goal.
Okay, sounds good. Well, anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for viewing it. Like I said, if you're looking at it, you hit the subscribe. You were notified. If you didn't, hit that subscribe button, and so you can get notification when I do post it. This ain't gonna be the last time you hear Jarreau's voice, because like I say, every time I do my podcast, if I'm doing coups and concerns, he's reading the words, the names to me, or even if I have a guest, I ask him to chime in. Other than doing the credits and how you could do a podcast here, if we have conversations and he want to chime in, I invite him to chime in to my podcast. Yeah. So with that said, I appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, the next guest I will be having on is Miss Nedra Durr. We all wonderful person. I'm not going to tell you guys too much about it because I'd like for them to introduce themselves, but I'm excited to have her. She's a sweetheart. She always got my back. She's very supportive of everything I do. And sometimes when you're doing something that's out your comfort zone, you appreciate that support. And like I said, who did I want to see me? Did I say Ellen or Oprah? I think I said Oprah. Oprah, if you happen to watch this, my podcast, CC's Coups and Concerns, I would love to come on your show. And Ellen, if you watching this, because I know Ellen she have her people looking at YouTube videos and stuff. Ellen, I'm probably the first podcaster who is asking to be on your show. What? So if you see me, Ellen, or Oprah, reach out to me. I know y'all, and I would love to come sit on your show. Anyway, peace. Peace out. Have fun. I appreciate you listening. Show your friends. Tell them to hit the subscribe button. And thank you guys for tuning in.
I think maybe we should try the premiere thing with this one.
True.
Yeah.
So you guys, you heard that we're gonna try to premiere it with this one. So when we do post it, I'll be sitting here on the mic, watching it with you guys. And if you have questions,
No, it don't have to be here. You could just be you'll just be on your phone, and you'll be watching it, and
okay.
It'll be a chat room.
Oh, okay, that's even better. Yeah. We can have us a good chat.
Yeah.
But would I be able to pause it, or it will run through?
It'll run through like it's live.
Oh, okay. I love that idea. So listen up. Like he said, we're gonna do this one premiere. That when we do post it, it's gonna become a chat room, and then you guys will be able to call, chat with me on some of the stuff that we were talking about. But anyway, thank you, Jarreau. Thank you for sitting with me. For you wasn't a backup, because we was gonna plan to do this soon, but I'm glad you was able. We was able to. I was dying to do a podcast this week, so like I said, see you guys soon, and thank you again.